Good morning, everybody. Hi. I'm just going to turn the light up on my phone. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? Happy Monday. I hope you have all had a really incredible weekend and you are looking forward to a phenomenal week ahead. You guys, we had a beautiful weekend, and yesterday it was really cold here, and it's cold again. I'm back in my little sweater today. It's actually, I don't know why, and I would like to know who is talking to Mother Nature about what's going on here in Italy, but you guys, it's like 6 degrees again here in the Alps, and it's supposed to be coming into summer. So if anyone knows Mother Nature personally, please have a talk to her and let her know that I'd like some European summer now. So you guys, I am diving in here this morning because I want to do a little bit of a motivation, kind of get you guys on the right track, especially for those women inside this community who are here for support to build their online businesses. So this might be you if you have a side hustle, you're in an MLM, maybe you're looking to launch or create something, and you're wanting to know about content, and you're wanting to know, what the heck should I be doing? How should I be doing it? And if you get stuck and you get kind of sidetracked in your every single day with consumption of content, this live video is for you guys. So if you have any questions while I'm kind of diving into this today, please feel free, guys, pop them in the comments box below and let's talk about this beautiful topic. Now, I'm going to invite a few people onto this live stream because I know that there are going to be a few people who this is really going to resonate with inside this space. Hey, Ange, how are you? Good morning. So let me just invite a few gorgeous souls into this beautiful live stream and let's talk about content creation versus consumption today. Now, as I said, I want to also use this opportunity as a bit of a Q&A type of session. So if you have any questions, I really want to keep it focused on the online business world. Obviously, that's where I am, that's where I'm focused. That's where I am. That's what I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm inside this online space, inside this online container, and I know that this is not going to really be for everyone, but for those women that it is for, let's dive into this beautiful topic today. So I'm just diving in to invite a few people who I know that this would really resonate with. Let me see. All right, I don't want to keep you guys, especially for those guys catching up on the replay. Let me know how your weekend was, you guys. As I said, yeah, we pretty much chilled out yesterday, and it was really, really beautiful. All right, let's have a chat. I know that there's a few other ladies. I don't want to kind of get overwhelmed with, inviting different people, but anyways, I'll just invite a few more and see who's interested. All right, cool. So one of the things that I find trips a lot of people up, and a lot of women, so let's those women who are in the online space, if you are in the online space and you are getting started, you currently have a business, where are you at? Let me know in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are and how you feel. Hey, Em, hey, Phoebes. I really wanted some people to come on because I was like, this is a topic that is going to vibe a lot better if I have some people on live with me. So I'm so pleased you guys could make it. Thank you very much for joining me. All right, so if you're in the online space, tell me, so I know obviously you guys are, and if you're catching on the replay, just let me know, put it in the comments box below. Where are you at in your online business? Are you in the, I want to start a business, I'm kind of in the launch phase of my business, I have a business, but it's not really doing so great, I need to kind of figure out where I'm at, what I'm doing. And if you have any questions when it comes to content, put them below for me. All right, so let's talk about this. And as I said, this is something that I find trips a lot of women up. Now, one of the reasons, and one of the biggest reasons, you guys, that it trips us up as women is because let's just bring it back to who we are and whether or not we know ourselves and whether or not we're trusting ourselves and whether or not we're listening into our intuition and we're sinking into that feminine, energetic, creative space when we go to create our content. This is really, really, really important for our message and our content to be heard and to be seen and to be picked up vibrationally. And I know this is kind of weird, and a lot of you guys are probably going to go, yeah, but you know, it's whether or not my content is actually resonating with people. And absolutely, and what's my message, and is my ideal client going to listen to it, and all this kind of stuff. You guys, what I really want to bring your attention back to, and I want you guys to take a step back for 1 second and just tune out all that noise around ideal clients, avatars, niches, what's my message, what's my branding, what's my logo. You guys, none of that. I love you with all of my heart, but right now it doesn't matter. When you're creating content, and one of the things that has been so pivotal inside of my business in particular is really talking from that heart space and getting away from the head space and the fear of who's listening, who's watching, is it good enough, is anyone actually going to connect with this, all that kind of mind drama that you've got going on. And when I started to actually shift out of that space, now your masculine energetic space, that kind of hustle, that push, it is important in your business, and I'm going to be lying if I tell you it's not. Those that tell you can totally create from a feminine energetic space, I'm going to say big fat BS to that. And here is why. You need the masculine energetic space to be able to drive your business, to be able to get up and go every single day, to be able to continue and pick yourself back up when things don't feel like they're going as they should. And the reason that I'm mentioning this is that a lot of you guys are getting started, and you guys need to hear that. So you need that masculine energetic energy to be able to ensure that you do keep going and that you do have the drive to continually create content and you do have the drive to continually show up. On the opposite side of the spectrum is the feminine energy that you guys need, and that we as women, especially if you're wanting the result so badly of your business to take off, sometimes what we can do is we can forget about that. And we forget about bringing in pleasure into our life. We forget about bringing in things that light us up, you know, really connecting with the things that bring that creativity for you. One of the things for me, and you guys have probably heard me say this before, is that one of the things that, and excuse my nails, you guys, I'm booked in tomorrow to get these fixed. Look at that disaster. So excuse that. I've been trying to pull it off, but it's just not coming off. It's shellac. You guys know that. Anyways, totally digress. So one of the things that really helps me to actually get into a creative space, and a lot of my voice memoing, like M's inside Elevate, like I'll voice memo to my clients, to the Elevate girls, when I am walking. When I'm moving the energy, when I'm actually in that space, I actually am in this creative, like, I don't know, it's like the energy that's moving in my body is creating the creativity, and it's coming from a heart-centered space where I'm out of my head, because when I'm moving my body, it allows me to get out of that head-driven fear, scarcity, am I good enough, all those kinds of things that go on for us, because who can resonate with that? That comes up every day for the majority of us. And what that will do is that will actually prevent you guys from creating from that creativity, from that creative, feminine, energetic, aligned, inspired place. And that place is, without a doubt, what is going to connect and resonate and turn the volume up on the things that you are talking about, to create a difference, to inspire people, to bring them into your energy, to convert them to clients, to convert them to money, to convert them into a business that's actually paying you. So if you're creating from a space that you don't feel inspired, you don't feel energy around, you don't feel momentum to continue to create. Like, I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, I shared like 4 or 5 pieces of content yesterday. It was like crazy. I don't know where it was coming from or how it was coming out of me, but yesterday I created all these pieces of content, and I questioned myself last night. I was like, I should have saved those. I shouldn't have put them all out. But here's the thing. Something that I also have found through my own experience and through monitoring like what's going on in the social media world for me personally, and this is something that you have to monitor for yourself as well, is like what content resonates. And were you in a space of that feminine energy? I'm like so aligned with what I'm writing right now. It's literally flowing out of me like I cannot stop it. That for me is what I get the most engagement from. And if I sit down and try and force a piece of content out because I feel pressure to post that day, it doesn't connect. I get very, very, very little engagement on it, whether it's on Instagram or whether it's on Facebook or whether it's an email I send, like doesn't matter. If I'm trying to sit down and force myself to do that, I literally will get crickets. So I would like to encourage you guys to really get clear on what it is for you that brings you into that space. Is it moving your body? Is it meditating, Em? Is it going for a walk with a girlfriend and having a coffee and, you know, talking crap and, you know, using whatever's been going on in, you know, her life that you can use as content? You know, what is that thing? Is it going for a longer shower? Is it lighting, you know, a beautiful candle and having, you know, some smells and some senses that are heightened? You know, and then kind of just sitting down. Maybe is it listening to some music? I was talking to a client of mine the other day, and one of the things that we were chatting about is bringing that pleasure aspect back into what she's doing when she's doing, because she will often sit down at her desk and it won't be until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, because she's also got a day job at the moment. And, you know, she's like, I sit down at my desk and I'm blank. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing when you sit down at your desk? And she's like, well, I just sit down. And I'm like, I try to write. And I said to her, well, do you feel inspired in that place? And she said, no. And I said, all right, well, what we need to do is we need to create an inspired environment. We need to increase the senses. So we decided that she would go and get a candle, because she loves candles. So she's going to go and get a scented candle. She's going to always make sure that she has a cup of tea or something like that she's coming in and she's sitting down with. She's also going to put on her favorite music. That's something that is going to make a difference. And then we discussed the fact that something that also inspires her is yoga. So she has created like a 5-minute, I don't know what you call it in yoga. Is it like a sequence or I don't know, a 5-minute routine that she's going to do, and then she's going to sit down. So while she's moving, she's listening, she's smelling, and she's in this place of like feminine, inspired, like what's kind of coming up for me. She's shifting the energy, she's moving around her body, she's increasing the heat inside her body as well because she's moving. And then we can sit down and we can create, because things are moving, things are flowing, and that is a really juicy place to start creating the content that you want to be creating. Okay, so I'm going to dive into your questions in 2 seconds. Now, one of the things that as women, if we don't know who we are, if we don't know what lights us up, what we're passionate about, and what our particular story is, like what have we moved through? So the girls in Elevate, if you're here, hey Tegan, if you guys are here, you know, like we've been working on this the last week. If you don't know what your story is, what you are going to find yourself doing, hands up, like we totally do this because as women, we are hardwired, like literally hardwired, and especially with today's society, to start looking at what other people are doing. Hands up. You find yourself on Instagram 30 minutes later. Holy crap, where did my allotted time go? I've just been in the Instagram wormhole. I've been looking at all this stuff. My vibe is low. I don't feel creative because she's doing that and I'm not good enough for that. And there's no way I could talk about it like that. And creating worksheets, well, I can't create a worksheet because I don't really like, oh my God. Oh my God. If you guys find yourself in that space, let me know. I don't know myself as well as I want to. How do I get to know me? Phoebes, it's really interesting. And somebody actually, I was talking to somebody about this. When was I talking to somebody about this? Yesterday? There is a young girl here from New Zealand, and she's nannying for a family here, and so the little one goes to the kindergarten where the kids go. And Nick saw her yesterday or on Saturday, and she'd actually just broken up with her boyfriend back home in New Zealand. So she's got all the feels. She's 20. And I went to meet her last night. We had an Aperol, and we sat down at the bar, and I sat down with her for like an hour. And, you know, we were talking about this very thing. One of the biggest things that helped me, and if I could just offer this one thing to help you guys tune into who you are, is to start tuning out the noise. We must stop comparing ourselves to other people and look at what other people are doing. My hubby also, so Nick is wanting to grow his Instagram and do something as like a side thing to what he's doing inside Athlete Management. It's still going to be along those lines, but more kind of individual. And I find him scrolling Instagram, you guys, for like, no joke. I will walk out of my office and he's there still scrolling. And I've like come in here, I've done my videos, I've done a coaching call, and he will still be scrolling. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm looking for ideas. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not looking for ideas. You're looking at what everybody else is doing, and you're comparing yourself to whether or not you're good enough to be doing what they're doing. How could I create that? You start shifting into that energy of, what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? What's the strategy I need? When do I start? How do I start? I don't have the qualifications to start. You start getting into that mindset, you guys, and that is going to pull away from who you are, what you're passionate about, what lights you up, what's your message, who do you want to be in the space, not what are other people doing and who are they in the space. You've got to bring it back to you. And when we are in a space of comparison and judgment, it is really, really difficult to find what lights us up. So for example, if you don't know who you are, one of the things for me in particular, as you guys have probably heard me chat about, is literally getting back to the things that make me feel good. So for me, you guys, it's movement. For me, it's movement. And so even at the moment, I'm able to do some really light lower body exercises this week. But I've just been walking every day. As I said, it gets the energy flowing. I feel like I'm in a really creative space. I might listen to a podcast if I'm feeling that. But literally, you guys, I listen to 3 podcasts and that's it. Because what will happen again is that if you overconsume, you won't be in a space to create, because consuming is also energetically draining on you. And while you're consuming, you're thinking. And if you're consuming and judging, then that's also very, very draining on your energy. And then when you come back, you won't be in a space of creation. So I would encourage you to really pull back on all of the areas and elements in which you're consuming and ensure that you are creating like 2/3 more than you're consuming, 100%, like beyond anything else. The other thing that I love to do is I love to listen to old school remix tunes. Like even just doing that, it triggers something in my mind. And when it triggers something in my mind, I tune into my own intuition. I tune into my own compass. Like, what do I need right now? I can ask myself that. What do I need right now? Do I need to take a walk? Do I need food? Do I need water? Do I need sex? Do I need to take a shower, put some makeup on and get ready for my day? Do I need a coffee? And it's like, even just tuning into those little things, you will start to find out who you are, what lights you up, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what am I passionate about, what colors do I love, not looking at anybody else's branding. When I released my branding, you guys, I cannot tell you how many messages and things that I got and the compliments I got of how cool my branding is. And I still get people, like someone saw my podcast cover just last week when I released the Friday episode, and they were like, your branding is amazing. And I'm like, thank you. And I haven't really seen any other branding that's similar to mine. And I love that. I really, really love that. I literally tuned into my own compass. I didn't look at anybody else's logos or websites or colors or concepts or any of that. It was like, I'm going to have a look on Pinterest and I'm going to really listen to myself. And if I'm choosing something that I think people are going to like, then I know that I'm not listening to myself. I know I'm not operating from that heart-centered space. I know that I'm trying to do things to impress and to connect with other people because they like it, not because I love it. Does that kind of make sense? It's really getting back to those basics. It's getting back to those pillars in the training that I do, in the kind of work that I coach on. It's getting back to the simplicities of who you are. And when you have those foundations met every single day, that is what literally starts to create this momentum and passion and pleasure and lit up feeling inside of your life. Because it's like, those necessities are not being left until the very last minute. Does that make sense? So instead of like, I'm not eating and, you know, I'm thirsty and it's like blinking 5 o'clock in the afternoon and you've been guzzling coffee all day and quick, I better get a drink because I'm so freaking dehydrated from all the coffee I've been drinking and I didn't move today and I didn't talk to my husband nice today. I didn't send him a loving text today, or, you know, and I found myself down the rabbit hole of Instagram and now I feel like rubbish. The last thing I want to do right now is create any content. Well, I'm not inspired, so I'm going to go sit on the couch, drink red wine, consume some chocolate or whatever it might be for you, and tune into Netflix, and tomorrow's another day. I'll start then. This, you guys, is really, really, really hurting you. It's really hurting you. And this is the kind of behaviors and paradigms that we need to shift in order to be able to step up and go to that next level, to create from that inspired place from you and not from anybody else. So let's go back and take a look at these. If any questions are coming up right now as to kind of what I'm going on about, please let me know. All right, M says, well, it's currently complicated. Currently in business change and transitioning and relaunching. Exactly. That's exactly what we're working on. Phoebes says, I've launched my business, Become Body Confident, and it's all about coaching women to feel confident and amazing in their own skin. I'm still figuring it out, and I'm about to shift from a one-to-one coaching focus to group programs and workshops. I love the work. I'm finding the business building hard though. All right. The one thing I would love to say to you, but also ask you, Phoebe, is, do you believe it's hard? One of the things when I was working as a holistic health coach and, you know, really helping women to lose weight, love their bodies specifically, was their belief around losing the weight was that it was hard. Their belief was losing weight is hard. Losing weight is a struggle. Losing weight means restriction. Losing weight means giving up on the things I love to eat. Losing weight means, supplements and eating this and only eating broccoli and chicken. Their belief was it was hard. And I really want to invite you to check in with what your belief is right now around, and if this is kind of what I'm reading, then you also believe right now that building your business is hard. Now, yes, building your business takes work. Yes, you do need to show up for your business, which is one of the things that we're currently chatting about in Elevate, like creating business hours and, you know, doing these kinds of things and not treating your business like a hobby anymore. That's one of the things that we do need to shift inside of you so that it doesn't feel hard anymore. You don't believe it's hard, and it's about creating a new belief for yourself inside your business. Does that make sense? Mind drama, yes. You're definitely, yeah. And Ems, what I want to offer as well, Emily, for you in particular with the content slump, is also that, you know, you've had so much going on. You've had so much going on. It's a new week. We have a new direction. You know, we're moving into a lot of stuff for you that's going to be really supportive, and it's going to be a little bit more masculine, energetically focused, which you do thrive on. So I think this week you're going to see a lot of shifts. Phoebe says, total burnout on the amount of content I consume and then I find hard to create. Absolutely, girlfriend. Absolutely. I've definitely fallen down the rabbit hole. I'm also finding as I've shifted, my thought process is shifting, and so content is changing. Getting it written down has been the issue. All right. Do you guys use your voice memo app on your phone. If you don't use your voice memo app on your phone, I would love to encourage you to do that. I use the voice memo app on my phone. I also use the notes on my phone. And so anytime inspiration hits, I stop. Like on my walk, you'll often find me, if you were walking here with me in Italy, you would often find me stopped and I would be like writing, or I would be voice memoing myself, talking about something that's really coming up for me. I find that is like literally when I'm moving, that's when I'm most creative. That's when I'm most in tune with my body. I get out of my head. So that would be something that I would love to encourage you guys to do, is to really have those things on hand for yourself so that when inspiration hits, you don't let that opportunity pass you by. All right, I've done that. Oh my God, Nick, I relate. Oh my God. And it drives me mad, you guys. I was talking to him about it the other day. He's not home. But I was talking to him about it the other day and I'm like, babe, if you want, like, I would love to help you. But of course, like, I'll just put it out there. And he said to me, he's like, I would love your help. But first I have to figure out what it is I'm actually doing. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. But what you're doing is you are prolonging the actual doing because you're consuming. Does that make sense? So anyways, I left it. I absolutely do believe that. You saw him right through me. Yes, sorry, Phoebes. I didn't mean, like, it's the truth, right? And it's exactly like that. Good morning, Annette. It's exactly like that, you know, like in what we write, our beliefs can be really seen and picked up on. I probably use the notes app and then forget about it later and never write about it. Voice memo app is an awesome idea. Yeah, I love using the voice memo. But yeah, I would encourage you guys to get that notes app kind of going, get it on like one of the front pages on your screen and not have it in like one of the blocks. You know how you have the blocks where you can have different apps inside of like that one thing, like you might have travel and it's got maps and weather and whatever inside it. But I have the notes app out, so it's like when something is sparked inside of me, I can just go straight in and start writing. I don't have to look for it, and then I get mind drama around that because I'm like, this is so frustrating. Why do I not have it where I need it? Like, pull it out, have it there. Pull your voice memo app, have it there, ready. So that all you have to do is unlock your phone, dive straight in, start talking from, you know, whatever's coming up for you, and then what I do is I will create it in that moment. I'll create it in that energetic moment where I'm feeling super inspired, and then I'll come back if I need to edit any photos or anything like that. I've got Adobe on my laptop and I have professional presets, so I've purchased presets that only work on my laptop, which is kind of annoying, but I've got into the zone of coming home, putting the photos on my laptop, editing them, sending them back to myself, then posting them through my phone. It's kind of like a bit of a roundabout way, but I'll always create the piece of content in that moment. I'll finish it, and then if I need to come back, edit any images, I'll do that, and then I will go back and share it out and use my phone so I can do emojis and all that kind of stuff. Phoebe says, oh my God, I totally prolong actually doing the do and then I get stuck. Yes, that is one of the biggest things. And our minds will harass the absolute bejeepers out of us if we don't act straight away. If you don't act straight away, your mind is just going to harass you, and it's going to harass you, and it's going to talk you out of it, and it's going to bring up all these fears, and it's going to start judging you against all of these other people. And then you might look on Instagram and it's going to totally talk you out of doing the do. We have to do before we think ourselves out of it. Like, the biggest thing, you have to act before your mind thinks yourself out of it. If it thinks yourself out of it and then you try to go back at a later date, it won't stick because you'll be out of that energy in which you first created. Does that make sense? Totally makes sense, doesn't it? All right. Anyone have any more questions? I have a big day of content creation today. If you haven't seen, I'm running a 3-day virtual workshop from tomorrow inside this space. We're talking self-love tomorrow, we're talking sex on Wednesday, and on Thursday we're talking about success, like how it relates to having a successful life or a life that you really cannot get enough of. So we're talking about that this week. It was kind of an impromptu thing that I knew I was doing, but I hadn't really put any parameters around it. So if you know someone who would love to be a part of that, if you haven't registered, go to the event. It's pinned in the top of this Facebook community. As I said, it's 3 days. I ran this very similar 3-day workshop last year, at the start of last year, I think it was, inside my very old Facebook community, and then that's been closed now. So I'm rehashing all of the workbooks and bringing in the element of self-love now into that. So I want to encourage you guys, if you want to be a part of that, to dive on in, register, but just come along. It's going to be at 10 a.m. every single day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. It's going to be really fun, and there's accompanying worksheet and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be an opportunity for you to really get to know you in that space. So if you have any questions or anything like that, you can please pop them in the event. Alrighty. I think that's it. If there's no more questions, I'm going to get going. I've got podcasts to record today. I've got my worksheets to create for the 3-day event. I'm also finishing up the communication plan for the ladies in Elevate. We have our call tomorrow, and we're working on communication plans tomorrow, so that's going to be super fun. So if no one has any questions, I'm going to get going. All right. Love you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you are a woman who is wanting to really find herself, love herself, increase her emotional wealth, or even just learn about it, Amore, my 6-week program for 5 women only, is open. We are opening on Saturday, and then content kicks off from next Monday. It's going to be a space where you are going to arrive one woman and leave as another. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm really, really excited about that. Yeah, of course, Phoebe, no worries. All right, guys, I will talk to you really soon. Have a brilliant day. Thank you so much for joining me. Mwah!